Hey there yarn lovers, it's Gary and I'm coming to you from my living room in Vancouver, Canada. So welcome. Today is Thursday, April 9th, 2020 and this is video 46. Today's a bit of a catch up on what I've been up to in the last little while. So I've got some whips and some FOs and I've got a happy mail to share with you today all the way from Australia. So yay! So if you're new to this channel and you're wondering what you're watching, this is been set up so that it records all of my yarn journey. It talks about my knitting, my crocheting, and recently, I think 4 weeks ago, I started dabbling in fibre dyeing, so yarn dyeing. You can see behind me here is a collection of what I did in video 40 with some speckling, some tonal variations on my yarn dyeing experiments, and I'm going to link that video, which is video 40, down in the description box. So if you want to go down that rabbit hole with me, please be my guest. And for those fibre friends who have returned, welcome back. I love all of your comments. My last video where me and hubby did the 23 favorite questions received a lot of responses. So I want to thank the yarn community for welcoming hubby into your embrace. So thank you for that. Let's get stuck into a little bit about what I've got to showcase. But before I do that, I have to ask how everyone's coping with their sanity and health, being either in their quarantine or if they're doing self-distancing. For me, as a plane flies over this building, you can hear it. It's been fine because I work from home anyway, so it does get a little bit taxing, I guess, after a few days of not going out. Like occasionally I'll just walk out of the building just to kind of get some air, maybe my 10 minutes of sunshine, whatever, and then I come back in for another couple of days. So I fare well with being in solitude with hubby, being away from, I guess, the community, but I do practice safe distancing, and I'm seeing it being done in some places. When I walk out of the building, I do see the distance being adhered to, so that's really good to see. So let's jump into the projects. Last video I had the compass cowl on my needles. It's a knitted work. I haven't blocked it, so it's a bit wrinkly. Excuse me. So this is how the two tones that I used in the compass cowl worked up. I use a hobium yarn called, I think it's from their collection called Madame Tricot Paris in their cashmere gold. And it's in the teal color. It's a sport weight. And I pair it with the another hobium yarn called Yarn Art Tweed, and that's the name of it there. And I had thrown this into my dye experiment. So it was a neutral color, like a beige, but I put it in turquoise. So that's the other one that I paired it in with this pattern. So I'll just show you how that looks as I lose my voice. There we go. It's quite a nice snug fit. Really like it. So you can wear that under a jacket and it wouldn't sort of like bulk out so ridiculously that you end up with 1980s power suit kind of shoulder pads. And this is what it looks like, another version of it with different colors. And really love them. They're so great. I might even do a few more of them. I like them a lot. If you're interested in finding where that pattern is, I'll link it down below in the description box. It's called the Compass Cowl by Tin Can Knits, and you might have to do a bit of investigation if that particular pattern isn't sold separately from the publication. If you have the financial means to purchase the whole publication of Strange Brew, and your journey for your fibre art is taking you down colour work in sweaters, I would suggest buying Strange Brew It has a number of different patterns for colorwork sweaters, and you've seen the compass cowl, that's in there as well, and a beanie pattern too. So I'm going to be utilizing that book later down the way, so you might be hearing me talk about it in future videos. Now I'm going to showcase my works in progress. What I have is an almost finished project bag that I crocheted up. And maybe if I come back here, it's better, you can see it better. There we go. I showcased it in my last video where I was updating you on my works in progress, and I had it half partially done in this mosaic section. Now this is called the Mosaic Bucket Bag, and it's a crocheted item. I'll link the 3 videos, or I'll link the first video down in the description box, but it is broken up into 3 videos. The first section here is what I think they called the capsule base crocheted bottom, and then the mosaic section is video 2. Video 3 is the ribbing at the top and completing it with some eyelets or holes for your grommets. And I don't have the metal eyelets or grommets yet. I purchased them on Etsy and they've been delivered. I don't know how long it's going to take because of the freight, I guess the conditions that are in the environment right now. And what I'm going to do, it's a drawstring. I've got shoelaces that I found in my button stash. For some reason there was like a fresh batch, a pair of shoelaces, so I thought that worked really well with the bag. And it's big enough. I did the classic size because the host of the tutorial, which she's great, she's so clear, but she gives you 2 different sizes. One's a mini and one's the classic size. This is the classic size, and it fits 4 skeins of 100 grams of yarn in there. So it has 4 of them. So the project that you could put in here would be one that would consist of around 400 gram skeins. So it could be a shawlette, it could be a scarf depending on how long you do the scarf or how wide. It could be a couple of projects like socks or a hat and glove set. So that is a really nice size for most projects, especially if you're doing garments. Just got to see where there we go. So it just drawstrings up like that, and really happy with that. So a little bit about the yarn that I used. I did feature it in the video that I covered this work in progress, but I'll just quickly recap over it. It was Universal's Good Earth yarn, and that's a combination of linen and cotton. When it arrived, I thought, okay, this is quite a stiff yarn. I have to wait for a project that I find to utilize it. It wouldn't have worked up as a nice flowing garment. It was a little bit too stiff for that. I did wash it and it did not soften up. So I found this perfect use for that yarn. And I bought it in 2 different colorways. I bought it in Safari and I bought it in Java. So this is the Safari colorway that I dyed. So I'll just show you. This is what the Safari looked like. And I have used it in the color section here of the bag, but I dyed the base, maybe that's a better, in gray, and I just got a different tone of the Safari. And I liked having it a little darker. And the second colorway here is in this variegated, in the mosaic work, is Lion Brand's hand-dyed Heaven yarn, 100% nylon. There's the stats if you want it. And this was the first time that I had done mosaic work in crochet. So I've never crocheted a row with one yarn and then crocheted on top of the same row. So I crocheted the same row twice in a different yarn. So I really liked the structure of that for the bag. It actually caused me to alter the directions a little bit in my second attempt, which I'll show you. So the second attempt, I lowered the mosaic section down to the base of the capsule base as well as the start of the walls, and it holds up better. There's like one ball in this partially made bag, and I'm going to do the single crochet on its own for a little bit more and then finish off with the final video where the host shows where to put the holes and the grommets. And I don't know what kind of drawstring I'm going to have with this bag yet, but I absolutely love the texture. So this is the Java in the Good Earth colorway. Sorry, it's Good Earth in the colorway Java. And this is the combination of Java and then that Safari that I hand dyed in the, that's the color there. I hand dyed the Safari color in Aztec Gold. Just a great combination there. So I'm super excited about finishing that, and then I'm going to be utilizing them in my, my projects. The last and final piece that I have to showcase is this whip. And it's all crunched up right now because it's sitting on needles that are not long enough to stretch out the fabric. But it is the 1 row chevron scarf that is a paid for pattern. Here it is here. It can be found on Ravelry, and I will link to the description box where you can find it. And it's by the Mouse Army Mitten Co. And they have 2 sizes in the pattern, and I doubled up the larger size. So what you see here in the pattern that is the larger size is half of this, and it's a scarf. But what I'm doing is I'm making it into a wrap, and I'm going to be knitting probably 5.5 feet in length, and then the width of it is 3 feet. So what I'm thinking of doing is when it's used, I should show you how it's going to be worn, is where the neck curve is here. It's going to be like doing this accordion style grouping, and then where my shoulder is, and it's sort of like now a different curve, it's going to stretch out the different stitches. I really like that idea. So it is a heavier garment, so we worn in winter or colder climates, and I am using, I just love the chevron itself makes it look like it's feathers. How feathers have like the main feather structure is like from the middle part, and then all of the fibers of the feather go in and kind of like an arrow, kind of like they feed to the center in different angles. So I really like that. What I'm using in it is a combination of different yarns, but the inspiration came from Karen Big Cakes in the colorway Cookie Crumble. So this is the band, Karen Big Cakes, colorway Cookie Crumble. Those are the stats. And what I did was it was all these different grays. So I took the grays apart and I balled them up. And what I'm doing is a rhythm of beige gray color, beige gray color kind of thing. And this is the color of the yellow so far that I've chosen. It's a Briggs & Little. I believe it's in their Regency collection, and it is classified as gold, the colorway. So that's what I've got so far. I've chosen some other bright colors. Some other bright colors as well, like blue from Paintbox called Dolphin Blue. And I'm using some tensile yarn from Spinrite in a green colorway. I think it's called Forest Green. So I'm gonna do banding. I really enjoy making it. And the thing I like about this, it's like you have to focus on this because each of the clusters change up and you don't really get a chance to do straight knitting or straight purling. It's like the cluster changes and then changes again and then changes again. So you have to kind of like keep focused. So that's my very final piece. Now for the exciting happy mail from Australia. Oh my God. I was beside myself when I received this. It was from Judy. Judy is from the YouTube channel. She's the host at Which Piece Crafts with Judy. And I have to say, I was watching Judy a while back and I was focusing on all of the reviews that she had that were of yarn down in Australia that we don't get. So I was really conscientious of like keeping a record of like what it was that I liked that she was showcasing, so that when I went down to Australia next time, I would go and visit some of the yarn companies down there. And I believe Bendigo Mills is one of them. So I was like taking note, and then Judy and I got into correspondence, and she sent me the most amazing gift packages, little assortments from like food, yarn. I'm just going to show you so that you can see what I'm talking about. So in the package was this beautiful card. I guess it was for my 50th birthday, right? Because remember that age is all in the mind. I just look at that adorable skater, like turtle skater. So I love it. I love it. I won't read it out. It's a bit personal, but I'll read you the card gag. Remember that age is all in the mind. The trick is to stop it from creeping down into the body. Happy birthday. I love that. That is so sweet. So alongside, I got an additional note inside which talks about the contents and how she picked what she picked to add into the happy mail. And honestly, you didn't have to send me anything for my birthday, but thank you so much. I do appreciate that. And what was inside there? Excuse me while I reach down. So, oh, they've all fallen out of a little, I guess, mesh bag of Australian treats. So I got these Vegemite spreads, which I love Vegemite. Oh my God, it's an acquired taste, I know, to many who have not grown up with Vegemite, but I love it. And the trick is, just a little bit goes a long way. You can't cake it on like you would peanut butter. It's just too overpowering that way. And then the very famous Tim Tams. Delicious chocolate biscuits, or in North America you call them chocolate cookies. These come in a tray generally of maybe 12 in a tray of long biscuit shaped or rectangular shapes. If you get a chance in your supermarket, if there is Tim Tams, give them a go. Tell me what you think. They're amazing. And what else? Okay, this one has a bit of a story behind it and touched me really in a way that made me miss home probably the most. So I don't know whether you guys know that Australians love ABBA. Back in the 70s and 80s, they were such always rating #1 on the charts, the Billboard charts of Australia. And they came to Australia and did a couple of free concerts, and I was fortunate enough in Melbourne. I believe I was like 5 or 6 when they came to Australia, and we saw them in a live open air concert. Me and my whole family went down there, and it was just the bomb. Oh my God. So this is what Judy had put in the gift. Oh my God. Isn't that amazing? So in her letter, she says she got this particular tote bag from the museum. And I believe the museum's in Stockholm. So, wow, I look at Bjorn's shoes. Holy smokes. They were the best. So, in our house growing up, us kids, there were 3 of us, all of our rooms were decked out in ABBA decor. So we had ABBA bed sheets, we had ABBA pajamas, we had ABBA t-shirts, we had decals of ABBA all over our school supplies. We had ABBA posters, magazines. We crafted with ABBA. ABBA even sold us our shampoo. So Sunsilk Blue is a brand in Australia, and ABBA was endorsing them for no dandruff. So we would use their shampoo. They would be everywhere, strewn across the house. You couldn't look anywhere without having any sort of interaction with ABBA somewhere in our house. It was amazing. The next part was yarn goodness. Oh my God. This yarn is just to die for. So I got 2 different colors, and maybe I'll just show you the 2 colors. That's what I got. Oh my God, they're so soft. Holy smokes. So I've never heard of this company before, but it did spark me on, or spur me on, to look them up online. And this is called Heirloom, and it's alpaca 8-ply. I don't know, is that a DK weight? It may be a DK weight or a worsted, but it is, if it's worsted, it's a fine worsted. And it's 50 grams, and in the 50 grams you get 95 meters, 100% alpaca, made in Australia. There is absolutely no itch to this at all. It almost feels velvety. It's so soft. No undergarments required for this at all. So I got beautiful skeins. Oh, I didn't tell you that the care instructions are: warm hand wash, do not tumble dry, you must have to lay flat to dry, and what else is there? No color? Where's the color? Oh, it just has a shade number. So the shade would be 935, and the shade of this one would be, this one doesn't have a shade. Oh, 6940. That must be the shade number at the top. There we go. And what a great combination of colors. They would work well together. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Judy. Thank you so much. That is awesome. You might be like me when you're all locked up in your living quarters, that you've been catching up with a lot of YouTube watching, and I've caught up with my favorites doing a lot of marathon watching, and also have branched out and have met new people online. Maybe not new to you, but to me, I've just found them. So I just want to do a couple of shout outs here. Tracy from Crochet Rossetti, I fell in love with her. Her accent is amazing. I've been watching as much as I can of Tracy, finding out what she's up to. It's been a thrill. So Tracy, hi. I love your accent so much, and all of your tastes in yarn when you do your yarn reviews are very much like my own. I have similar tastes, so I am so focused on everything that you bring out in front of the camera. I'm like, oh, I want that yarn too. And then there is Ali from Craft House Magic. Oh, she has the best bubbly nature. I absolutely adore her. She talks about lots of shawls that she makes, and she makes these intricate color work things. I think that's what I'm really focused on, is all of her yarn and all of the color work that she does. So she's mostly knit, but I have seen her present some crochet as well. And then there's another Ali, also from the UK. So I've got the Alis from UK encroaching, and they're marching into my life right now. So Ali from Little Drops of Wonderful, she was doing a blog, daily blog. I don't know whether she's still doing it now, whether she stopped. She knits and crochets as well, and I absolutely love her channel. So if you haven't met either Ali's, please go visit them. I'm going to link all of these down below in the description box to make it easier for you to find them. And then Ray and Kevin from Needles at the Ready, they are on the other side of the continent, I believe, somewhere over there in the US. I want to say like Wisconsin, Maine, New England, somewhere around there. But I absolutely love their projects that they present, and they go through different aspects of what they talk about. So they talk about what they're reading and complications that they have with patterns, kind of struggles as well, like what I generally go through on a weekly basis. I always tend to find myself into a, knit myself or crochet myself into a ditch. And I ask my fibre friends for help, and they're a great resource. So I just love their channel. So if you haven't seen them or heard of them, please go visit. I will add them to the link below. So I believe that brings me to all I wanted to catch up with today. So again, I wanted to say thanks to Judy for amazing gifts from Australia. It touched my heart, and it made me homesick, and I love watching your channel because it's a bit of the Australian accent and all of those people that I just shouted out. I hope everyone's doing well in their spaces and staying sane, staying healthy. And yeah, I look forward to all of your comments. If you are new to this channel and you've liked what you've watched, please give me a thumbs up. Think about subscribing. It's free. I'd love to have you in my fibre friends. Comments, I love reading them. It includes me into the yarn community as well. So please keep the dialogue open. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.